Hi, this is Sharon from craftyandcreativeideas.blogspot.com. I have a little video for you from the series, the Wow, That's Cool video series of mine. And today's video is going to be the Halloween Hello card. This was done, the stamps that I used with this is the Stampin' Up! Halloween Hello. And all of these supplies will be listed on my blog at craftyandcreativeideas.blogspot.com. I started out this card with a 3-inch by 6-inch piece of basic black cardstock, and I scored it at the 3-inch mark. And then remember, when you fold, mountainside goes in. Then I took my 2 3/8 inch punch and I punched out a piece of pumpkin pie paper with that punch. And then I had stamped ahead of time, just to save time for this video, I did use Stays On ink, and I had stamped from that Halloween Hello stamp. I stopped Halloween Hello and I punched that out with a 1 3/4 inch punch. Just to save time also, I had punched out the bat and I punched out the candy corn ahead of time. And when I get to that, I'll show you what I did with it. But I did use Stays On ink because I will show you. Here's the picture of the bat. The very first time I made this card, I used regular basic black ink. Now I use the Stays On. The difference is incredible. I mean, it just is, the blacks can't even compare. So your image just pops just so much better. So use the Stays On ink and you'll be happier with the outcome of the card itself. What I did was I took my Halloween Hello and I actually just used a little bit of adhesive on it. I couldn't get it to work in here. A little bit of Tombow. And I just put that onto the scallop and centered it. Okay. Now the bat, what I did was I actually had punched these out, cut this, and I left white space. I'm going to kind of zoom in here a little bit so you can see I left a lot of white space around the bat, so it just gave it a little more definition. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want on that if you want to trim it completely, you know, the way you want. It's totally up to you. And then I just popped him onto the scallop. And then I took the candy corns, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of glue this on first onto this card just to speed this process up. Okay, so I put this on the face of the card, and then you've got your bat that is popped up. And then I also took my candy corns, but I'm not going to put those on until I actually put the little stitching on. I used a gel pen, a white gel pen, and I just went all along the edge evenly and made it look like white stitching all along. Same thing in the other direction. And then around this way. And across the bottom. And I find it's easier if you rock back and forth with these gel pens so you get a nice clear image. Isn't that cute? It's just so cute. Okay, so we have our little stitching on there. So now all you have to do is take your candy corns, and you're going to take your candy corn. I colored these in with felt markers, and I'm just going to place them randomly wherever I think they look cute. The corner of your dimensional paper works out really good for something like this because they're just pieces of dimensional that almost get, of course I never waste anything, but otherwise, I mean, they're not a full dimensional. Cute, just so cute. Okay, so there's your simple little card. Now for the envelope, what I did, I'm going to set this aside here. And you can see the difference now. There's the card with the stays on, and there's the one without. I mean, this just jumps out at you. So much cuter. And for the envelope, I ended up taking a piece of white cardstock, which is actually 5 1/4 Whisper White, 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 square. Okay, and I'm going to use the punch board, the Stampin' Up! Punch board for this. And before I forget to tell you, there is an error on the punch board. The demonstrators were notified on this. When you get to your, if you look on your board where it says on the marking here at 5 1/2 by 8, and it says, let me kind of zoom in here, 5 1/2 by 8, and I marked this with tape so that I would remember to tell you about that. But if you, the 5 1/2 by 8, it actually says that your paper needs to be 10 1/2 by, and your score is 4 1/2. The actual true measurement that should be is 10 5/8, and the score line should be 4 3/8. There's an error. Now you can talk to your demonstrator, hopefully that would be me, and they can order you a new label for this so that you have the accurate measurements on there. But anyways, going back to our envelope, we're going to take that envelope and we're going to line this white piece of paper up at the 2 5/8 mark line. So we're going to come right along here, and here's your 2 5/8, and you're going to score and punch. Then when we turn this around, you're going to line this little mark up with your score mark, and you're just going to score again and punch. Once again, pivot it, score, punch. Same thing, lining this up again, punch, and score it. And there's the front of your envelope. Now, you want to round one of these edges off so that you have a nice rounded edge for the top of this when we get to that point. Okay, so now you're going to fold nice crease lines on all of these. Crease, nice crease, and a nice crease. I am picking up some type of ink on my white envelope here. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to be able to fold in. So there's our envelope. Okay, and what we want to be able to do now is we're going to make the liner. Okay, the way we make the liner is this piece is cut as a 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, and I used the Witch's Brew Designer Series paper from the holiday catalog. And what you're going to do is line this up, and you want this to punch at 2 3/8. So you're going to move this over to your 2 3/8, which is right there. I'm going to kind of zoom that in so you can see that a little bit better. There's your 2 3/8. And all we're going to do at this point is we are just going to do a punch. And that's it. Now you're going to take that, completely flip this around and turn it so that these sides that you're punching will be on an angle, total, complete angle of one another. Once again, go back to your 2 3/8 and just do a punch. Okay, so we've punched the top of this and rounded it off, and we have the 2 bottoms that we've punched off. So now we want to line this up. This is the way this is going to line up into your liner, because you're going to line the part that's the slope and then this part up to this portion of your envelope, and that's the way it's going to get glued on there. And I personally, this is a matter of just personal choice. I find that the envelopes, if you use just adhesive tape, they fall apart. So I like to use the liquid glue, and you don't need to do the whole bottom part. All you need to do is the top half, and you're going to adhere that to your envelope. Oops. Like so, and give it a nice press. And then you're just going to take a little bit of glue on each flap, side flap, just a little line of it is all you need. Like so. And then it's your choice. Either you can leave this edge as is, or you can bend this in and square it off. It's totally totally up to you what you want to do with that. If you want to just leave it, or whatever. But that's up to you. Or some people cut them off. Whatever you want to do with it. But there is our little video, and on the Halloween Hello card and the matching envelope with a liner. I'm glad you could stop by to view this video, and craftingcreativeideas.blogspot.com for more Wow That's Cool videos. Thank you for watching.